everybody. Starting something new called Hot Takes by the Wrong Ganguly, in which I'll be giving my opinion about various sporting incidents that are happening. And today I'll be talking about Virat Kohli's aggression in the India-England Lords match. So, as you guys might be aware, in fact, if you're not living under a rock, you should definitely be aware that India beat England in a beautiful test match. बहुत ही मजा आ गया देख के. And in the last day, last session, something magical happened. And yes, India went on to win. And as was expected, British media and British in general, जब भी इंडिया इंग्लैंड को हराती है, कभी जब इंडिया में होता है तो पिचेस की गलती होती है या कुछ ना कुछ गलती इंडिया की ही होती है. And British media has been on and on about Virat Kohli's aggression, calling his behaviour as uncouth and very aggressive. Virat Kohli's India is very aggressive. They don't know how to talk. Everything बहुत on and on has been going on in the British media. In fact, Indian media में भी कई लोगों ने काफी सारी बातें कही है. So just discussing that whole thing and giving my viewpoint about is it true, is Virat Kohli a little too much aggressive. Of course this is my viewpoint. मैं आपको ये बात गलत भी लग सकती है कि मेरा जो भी viewpoint है, and please feel free to discuss on comment. We can definitely have a discussion there कि ये बात सही है कि नहीं है. So starters, just recapping the whole incident कि क्या हुआ and what exactly happened and what led to what. It all kind of started जब Bumrah was bowling James Anderson in England's first innings, at the end of England's first innings, and Bumrah was bowling short continuously, short bowling, जो कि वैसे it's not something unheard of, but ज़्यादातर tailenders को short bowling is it's said that maybe you can avoid it because it can be injury prone और उनको उससे चोट लग सकती है. Of course ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है, बहुत ज़्यादातर टीम्स ये करते ही रहते हैं. For instance मोहम्मद शमी का तो फ्रैक्चर भी हुआ था अभी in Australia जब Australian pacers were bowling short to them. So clearly ये होता रहता है and there's nothing as such that it's unsportsmanlike behavior or anything like that. I'm pretty sure इंग्लैंड भी पेसर्स ने बहुत ये किया होगा. अभी obviously in the current English team, in fact, because Jofra Archer and everybody is not there, there's nobody who's bowling at express pace. In fact, that was the reason they got Mark Wood. So short bowling from their side doesn't even intimidate others, but definitely it's not something unheard of कि short bowling to tailenders होता ही नहीं है. And so Bumrah was giving a lot of short bowling stuff, chin music to James Anderson, and it was a hilarious over because एक तो बहुत ज़्यादा short bowling भी हो रही थी और बार बार बुमराह नो बॉल भी करे जा रहा था. सो जेम्स एंडरसन जस्ट चाहते थे कि प्लीज भगवान ये ओवर खत्म कर दे, और हर बार अंपायर जब ऐसे नो बॉल दे रहा है तो उसके आंखों से आंसू आ रहे हैं, भाई क्यों दे रहा है नो बॉल, प्लीज ओवर खत्म होने दे. सो इट वाज रियली फनी टू आल्सो लुक एट दैट. एंड जेम्स एंडरसन apparently we have gotten to know right now after the over or during the over he was even telling Jasprit Bumrah कि why you bowling so fast to me, earlier you were happily bowling at 80 miles per hour, or why you bowling at 90 at me. And सो काफ़ी वो पिस थे इस बात से कि यार ये 90 माइल्स पर आवर पे और मुझे शॉर्ट बॉलिंग डाल रहे. एंड टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ दैट innings when James Anderson got out, Bumrah even went up to him to just make things right, but James Anderson kind of brushed him aside. And to be honest, I get it. ठीक है, any pacer feeling that way, that कोई 90 miles per hour पे मुझे डाल रहा है and all that, it's fine. But there's a lot of history behind how James Anderson has been. So it's not really a spark. ये point ही नहीं था जिससे सब कुछ शुरू हुआ है. जेम्स एंडरसन के साथ इंडिया की बहुत ज़्यादा हिस्ट्री रही हुई है. जेम्स एंडरसन हैज़ गॉन ऑन, in fact लास्ट टेस्ट मैच में, लास्ट सीरीज में, लास्ट इंडियाज टूर ऑफ इंग्लैंड में जडेजा के साथ जेम्स एंडरसन की काइंड ऑफ धक्का मुक्की टाइप ही हो गया था, इन विच ही वेंट ऑन टू पुश जडेजा इन द ड्रेसिंग रूम, विच इज़ अनहर्ड ऑफ. But ये हुआ था. Then even during Ashwin's, when Ashwin had run out Butler after repeatedly warning him, and he had gone out, the incident which is called monkarding, which I have huge issues against. Like there's no way it should be one of India's greatest players should be remembered just by that one incident. But unfortunately, that's what is called. And after that, James Anderson had gone on to put Ashwin's photo in a shredder, which was a very weird thing for him to be doing. So and James Anderson in general is known to be a very mean, bullish, very forgive if I can just say that, very Australian sportsman kind of behavior, where he's very mean and bullish. In fact वो जाने जाते हैं कि वो अपनी sledging और अपनी चीज़ें बोलते वक्त ऐसे हाथ कर लेते हैं so that lip reading उनकी ना हो पाए कि वो क्या बोल रहे क्या नहीं. And he says some really nasty stuff, and it's very ironical. जब वो bowling कर रहे थे, he looks like this very mean person, एंड वेरी बुलिश, बट वो बैटिंग करने आता है ऐसा लगता है कि मतलब बिल्कुल ही खरगोश एकदम पपी डॉग वाली आईज हो जाती है. सो इट वाज काइंड ऑफ फनी टू सी Bumrah continuously bowl James Anderson like that, and I get it. Any other player, it would have probably not been fine with, but I'm sure, yeah, there might have been some. Kohli might have been instructing Bumrah ki let's give him some chin music. So the fact that it was James Anderson and not say a Stuart Broad or something like somebody like that, it still, that's the reason I'm thinking that okay, it is fine. But anyway, उसके बाद जो हुआ, उसके बाद of course everybody knows what happened. When Bumrah came to bowl Mark Wood, even though he was injured, he still came steaming and trying to intimidate Bumrah. And what happened after that, it's a story of, it's going to be a folklore. मतलब बहुत सालों बाद तक हम इस बारे में बात करने वाले कि शामी और बुमराह ने कैसे वो ओवर फेस किया और कैसे वो इन पार्टनरशिप बनाई 89 runs की, and how that turned around, because obviously nothing deflates opposition team like tailenders getting run. Then after that, of course, they continued on that momentum, and India went on to win the match. So just some things around it, like why everybody has been saying that Kohli's team is too aggressive and too, they win, they are kind of like Steve Waugh's mental disintegration जो बोली जाती थी. Mental disintegration, if some of you are not aware, is the term used for Steve Waugh's Australian team, which went on to have obviously the record number of 16 test match, which is winning together, which was beaten by guess who? India. So and of course that Dravid Lakshman partnership. क्या आंसू आ जाते हैं उस बारे में तो सोच के भी. And so is Kohli's India similar to Australia's that team and mental disintegration? Personally, I don't think so. I don't believe so. And the biggest proof of that, उसका सबसे बड़ा proof ये है कि इंडिया का behavior towards teams जिसके साथ कोई सीन नहीं होता है. फॉर इंस्टेंस इवन अगेंस्ट न्यूजीलैंड, द WTC फाइनल्स जस्ट उससे पहले हुआ था, एंड न्यूजीलैंड इज नोन जनरली टू बी अ वेरी नाइस टीम. वो ज़्यादातर स्लेजिंग इन सब में ज़्यादा घुसती नहीं है. एंड इंडियाज बिहेवियर टुवर्ड्स देम वाज आल्सो जस्ट रेसिप्रोकल ऑफ द सेम फैक्ट. देयर वाज नो इंटिमिडेशन एज सच, देयर वाज नो aggression shown by Kohli. Plus, if you see, even India, while bowling in the second innings, where everybody has been questioning that all Indian players were converging towards the batsman, उनको डराने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, it was not as much towards everybody as towards specific characters. जैसे when Ollie Robinson was at crease, when Butler was at crease, this all was happening way more than when Sam Curran was on crease. Like when even Sam Curran coming, Siraj was very steamed up, and Virat Kohli उसको actually काम करा रहा था कि no, not to him, because Sam Curran himself did not behave that way. So if you actually think about it, it is not a very calculated aggression as much as it is just an emotional reaction. India essentially is an emotional country. हम सब emotions के बहुत ज़्यादा emotional लोग हैं. हम generally जान ही जाते कि we are full of emotions. And what India does in these situations is not as much as a calculated thing to break them down, as much as when things start to happen towards them and there's just an emotional response to it. And so that's basically what it was. That's what I personally feel. Even Kohli, even towards Siraj, when Anderson was also coming, just saying that not on the head. So that all kind of proves that India does not go for that, or even Kohli does not go for that. Of course, a lot of people might be feeling that Kohli थोड़ा aggressive है, and वो हमें इसलिए भी लग सकता है because for times and time, for so many years we have not seen Indian sportsmen and Indian cricketers to be so aggressive. In fact, of course, Wrong Ganguly was the one who got all that gung-ho spirit towards India, but उसके पहले we were generally seen to be the submissive cricketers, into the point that because of sledging our openers have cried because of sledging. So it's generally not expected to see Indian sportsmen to be so aggressive and so much in your face. And of course, and this Englishmen and Australians, they feel very rattled जब ये होता है उनके साथ when a Virat Kohli is doing all this. But let's face it, Virat Kohli fosters in that environment. He is a person who will be emotional, and of course these things look a little off when he's not in form, but that's what keeps him going. He likes to be in that zone. उसका दिल्लीपन पूरा आ जाता है, which again, me raised in Delhi, I completely understand and like that a lot. So personally, yeah, I don't think Virat Kohli, Virat Kohli or what the Indian team did was very aggressive, or was too in your face. I think it was just a very emotional environment, and it was more like what had happened to them, what was given out to Bumrah, those everybody, Butler coming and talking, which was very strange to see. Butler is not even a person who does all that, because there are players in the English team also who do all that, but Butler is generally one of the more reserved people. So they were going out of the comfort zone and trying to challenge Indian players and trying to intimidate them, which clearly did not work for them. Because end of the day, you have to also see what works for you. If doing all that works for you, well and good. But if doing that puts your team completely in a losing position, then it clearly does not work for you. And end of the day, Virat Kohli is the top dog. He is the alpha male. तो वो ऐसा ही करेगा, and that's the way he behaves. So yeah, I understand when his form is not in the best of places, it looks a little bit कि क्या कर रहा है, बचपना कर रहा है, कर रहा है. But that gets the best out of him. That's how he works, and that's what has gotten the best out of the Indian team. This is Virat Kohli's Indian cricket team, and this will be a emotional team always. If anybody goes on to that, even what KL Rahul during his post-match interview said, and he said in such a calm way, which was almost looking menacing, एकदम godfatherish. Tonight you sleep with the fishes wali vibe aa rahi thi when he said that you mess with one of us, we will go back to you. For some reason, I'm saying that in a Russian tone as well. So yes, this is Virat Kohli's India, and they will be an emotional country, and I don't think that what they did was any way out or any way weird and any way unsportsmanlike. It was just basically dishing back to them what they had done in the previous innings, and they had basically if you start it, then they will end it. And that's all I have to say about it. Hope you guys agree with what I'm saying. In case you don't, please comment से बताओ कि क्या, what do you feel about it, where if you feel that Virat Kohli's aggression was a little too much, or if you feel that this is on the lines of mental disintegration. I personally don't, but would love to hear your thoughts about it. Thanks a lot, guys. That's all I have to say for this.